energy manipulation is a very, very important topic to discuss. And there are people who believe that it's all BS and it's all nonsense. Some people would believe that it's pseudoscience, it's new age nonsense on these things, okay? That is why I want to have a discussion on this particular topic concerning how energy manipulation is not BS, it's a fact. It's one of the truest things that you can discover for yourself on the planet. Okay? There's a lot of things that people believe that cannot be proven, but this is something that definitely can be proven, and I would like to teach you how you can prove for yourself that energy can be manipulated to give you the results that you desire in life. Okay? Everybody in this world would like to have more, be more, and everyone like to experience expansion and growth in their life. But there are certain principles that you need to know that will help to build your faith, that will help to build your confidence in order for you to be able to become a master of your destiny, in order for you to be able to manipulate energy according to your will. Okay? And when your wish becomes the command of your invisible self, your creative self, the things that you imagine, the things that you wish, they can become a hard and objective fact in your life. So, my brother, my sisters, whatsoever you desire in this world, it can become yours if you realize that energy manipulation is real. You see, the very first thing you must come to understand is how this universe runs. What is the secret of your existence? What is the secret of this universe? How is it the animals, the birds, all of these things, they do certain things in a certain way? And how all of nature in general do things in a certain way? And how you, having this human experience, you've been given dominion, you've been given power over the animals and over all of nature. And you're the one that possesses mind and speech. You're the only one who understands energy. And you're the only one who knows how to manipulate energy. You're the only one who would understand vibration and frequency. You're the only one who have ever invented a radio, a television, a telephone. And all of that is to reflect your telepathic ability. And all of that is to show that you are visionary and that you are extraordinary. Which means you have the power to create. You have the power to shape. You have the power to reshape. You have the power to mold. You have the power to remold. Therefore, having the power of imagination is what makes you higher than the animals. Having the power of imagination is what puts you as one with the Creator. And the Creator is not on the outside. The Creator is the creative intelligence that you have within you. And there's no other creator. You see, when you look at life and you think there's something higher than life, you are deceiving yourself. Life is it. And out of life comes everything else. Well, this life of which I speak is energy. So when you realize that life itself is energy, you would realize that energy can be created or destroyed, but it can be transmuted. It's basic common sense. You have a telephone, you have a television, you have an automobile, you use money, you wear clothes, you have goods, you have services, you have all of these different things. What do you think they are? It's the manipulation of energy. Everything is based on energy manipulation. All science, all technology, it's energy manipulation. So if you do not realize the fact that you are actually a mass of energy, and you can transmute that energy into what we refer to as reality, into the effect, because you are the cause. If you do not know that, you would live your life on this planet being lame. You would live your life on this planet on the level of the animals. You see, everything that you possess, you can find it in a pig, or you can find it in a dog, except mind and speech. Okay? And that is why you have to vibrate higher than the animals, by learning to think for yourself and putting your thoughts to the test by using your imagination. Imagination is greater than knowledge. And so when you use your imagination to create your reality consciously, that is you transmuting energy into matter, or into your reality, into the tangible physical fact, the things that you can see, taste, touch, and smell. Also the animals, they can see, they can taste, they can touch, they can smell, but they have no imagination that they can transmute into reality. But you have been given that. That is why when you're born in this world, you're born with your will and your perception. You're born with your memory. Because as you grow and you develop, it is memory. You see, what they refer to as motor skills in a young child is actually memory. Some people speak in terms of time and they think about yesterday. But it's just memory. It's not real, because time is not real. And people speak about the future, but they're doing it all in the now. So energy is always in the now. That is why you have to manipulate the energy in the now. So when they tell you that you have to speak your desires in the now, you have to write it down in the now, and you have to do all the different rituals. All of these different rituals, though they may come from different angles, is basically the same thing. Is you manipulating energy. is you transmuting energy. So everything is based on energy transmutation. The salary that you get per month is based on energy transmutation. The job you do is based on energy transmutation. Therefore, everything is actually a reflection of your mind. So even the salary that you get monthly is a reflection of you. The house you live in is a reflection of you. Even the vehicle you drive is a reflection of you. Everything is a reflection of you. This wall is a mirror and is reflecting back yourself. Okay, and most people cannot deal with the reflection of themselves unless they learn who they are. So self-discovery is the most powerful thing that you can own on this planet. And that is why all these systems have been set up for you not to know who you are. Because when you become empowered by knowing who you are, you know that you possess a power. And you can use that power to achieve your every desire. And that power is the ability to manipulate energy. See, when you have the ability to manipulate energy and you realize that you have that energy to manipulate energy, you would manipulate energy to give you your reality. Okay, in other words, you bend reality to your will. Okay, in other words, it means that you can have and be and do anything that you want to have in this world. You can have anything you want to have in this world. You can be anything you want to be in this world if you understand energy manipulation. For example, we can communicate from any part of the world because of a telephone. Well, the telephone is the expression of a thought. It's manipulation of energy. People from all over the world can tune into their radio and different stations. And based on what station you tune in is what message you will get. Well, it's the same thing with your mind. Because the radio is an expression of the mind. Okay? So all science, all technology is within. And it is the transmutation of energy. So, my brother and my sisters, the most important thing on this planet that you must discover is the knowledge of self. You have to know who you are. You have to know that you are a GPS station. You have to know that you can channel anything in this world. So you can channel money. You can channel riches. You can channel your ancestors. You can channel anything. So people look at television and they have channels. People look at the radio, they have channels. People look at the television, they have channels. People believe in the internet. They use Wi-Fi. It's a channel. It's a super communication operation that comes from the psyche of man. So your psyche is your energy, and that is the mint that they use to print money. Do you realize that you can print any amount of money that you desire into your reality if you understand the power of your psyche? If you really understand the aphorism, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And you understand it from the angle of energy, vibration, and frequency. And you get on the frequency of abundance. You speak your world the way you want it to be. And when you speak your world the way you want it to be, in confidence and surety, because you know who you are. When you know for sure that you are invisible, but yet you live in a visible body, and you know that your true essence is invisible, then you would know that anything that you desire in this world, you do not look for it from the visible, tangible world. You look for it from the invisible, intangible world. That is why you have to start with a burning desire. When you start with a burning desire, it ignites something within you. It activates something within you. And when you activate that feeling that would impress your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind no reason. No, your subconscious mind no reason. And if you realize that your subconscious mind no reason, and it's whatever you impress on your subconscious mind, that's why you get back, then you start to understand why school system was used to deceive the masses. Because, you know, people who go to school and get a bunch of academic education and who have degrees and all of these things, they just try to believe that they could reason everything out. So with all of that kind of reasoning and analyzing, yeah, that's the word I was looking for, analyze. They like to analyze. So with all the analyzing they're doing, the subconscious mind would read it as something well confused, as confusion. So when they check the entire world and tell the world that God is not the author of confusion, they make you think that they're speaking about an entity outside of yourself. So they say, do not be deceived. God is not mocked. Okay, whatsoever man sow, that also shall he reap. And most people haven't understand what it really means. When they say God is not the author of confusion, there's no way that you could know your energetic self and you do not know that your energetic self is your God self, your creative self. But the system of the world wanted to believe that it is BS, especially the religious system. So they will tell you not to practice daily meditation and visualization, not to practice affirmation. They would scare you by using fair tactic on you to tell you that that is evil, that is of the devil, to tell you that that is witchcraft. And up to this day, no one could define witchcraft, because if they do define witchcraft for you, if they define for you things that are demonic, they would have to say money is witchcraft and money is demonic, but they can't bring themselves to say that. I will say it from now till the day I leave this planet, that religious and superstitious people will never turn around and call money demonic. They'll never call money satanic. They'll never do it. They will never do it. They will work the hardest for money. Not knowing that money is a flowing, living currency. It's an energy. You're carrying around that energy. You're carrying around that currency. And every mint all around the world that they print money is just a replica of the mind. Your mind could print anything, which means you could visualize anything. You could shape and mold anything in your imagination. But when you grow up like in the Caribbean, places that have been colonized by the Europeans, and you get into the school system, they tell you get good education, get good grades, and get a good job. They tell you to become a good slave on the plantation, a very obedient slave on the plantation. But they never teach you that it is energy manipulation. And when I look at the education of the people in my country who are in the leading class, okay, the people who own the big businesses and so on, I see a pattern of a certain look of people, and I could chase their ancestry back to all the way back to Europe and so on. So then it have to be something they pass down from lip to ears. But I'm telling you, what they pass down from lip to ears is the secret of how to manipulate energy. But our people believe in secular Christianity, so they're going to hold on secular Christianity and believe someone going to come from somewhere and save them. They really believe someone going to come and redeem them. Look, if you're alive and you would have experienced 2020 to 2022 and that hadn't wake you up to realize that preachers are puppets, the church system is a joke, the political system is a joke. If the big pandemic, the big scamdemic haven't waken you up, man, you're in a coma. You're dead while you live it. So my brother, my sisters, this life, I'm telling you that energy manipulation is not BS. I've proven it in my own life. I've seen how my life had changed from every angle, especially financially. Okay, because there's a lot of people who like to go around and pretend that they don't love money. But I love money. Okay, and you should too. Because when you realize that you cannot separate yourself from money, and money can't separate itself from you, because money is energy, and you is energy, and money is as a result of energy manipulation, and you have the power to manipulate energy because you have the power of choice, you have a mind, and you have speech, and the animals don't have that, nature don't have that, okay, to speak in an audible way, but they can speak in signs and language. That's why signs and language runs this world, along with ideas. And so people live their life and the signs are all around them and they can't see it. The languages of symbology is all around them and they still can't see it. That is why they think money is hard to get. And they think that they have to bow to some organization. They have to join some organization that still wants to control what you do, how you do, when you do, what you say, how you say it, and so on. Okay. But when you realize that you're free, and you realize that imagination is what creates reality, and your imagination is you acknowledging energy and how to manipulate energy. Okay, when you understand that, you're on your own. Yeah, because why? All the minds in the world are connected. Yeah, all the minds in the world are connected. It doesn't matter where in the world you live in. I could send out a thought, and you could receive that thought all the way in Germany, all the way in Africa, all the way in Asia, all the way in South America, all the way in North America. I could close my eyes and go in silent and act out my life in a certain way. And though I hold to, and though it may seem false at the moment, once I persist in that assumption and in that belief, it's going to become a hard and objective fact. Well, if it could work that way, and it is only one power, and there's only one energy, then the same energy that can use to heal is the same energy can use to hurt. It all based on the frequency. What is your motive? What is it you would like to accomplish? Why would you want to have it or be it? How is it going to help your fellow man? All of these things are very important. So, my brother, my sisters, when you get this knowledge concerning how to bend reality to your will, and you realize that earning money is basically you learning to manipulate energy. When you understand that a millionaire is one who learns how to manipulate energy, a multi-millionaire is the same thing, a billionaire, and then you understand that there are people who have millions but still do not know how to manipulate energy, and so they give thanks and praises to some outside entity. Do you know how much melanated people believe that there's some entity on the outside, there's some Lord, there's some God who they pray to? Like, for example, in my country, 99% of the people who would have written on their vehicle scriptures on their vehicle. That vehicle is owned by the bank or the credit union. Yet they quote in scriptures because they believe they pray to some God on the outside and he heard them. And that was the answer to their prayers, because they do not understand how to bend reality to their will. They do not understand how to manipulate energy. They think it is BS because it's too simple. I remember there was a time in my life when every time I have $10,000 save in my bank account, it will go all the way back down to 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. And when I realized that I could manipulate energy, I decided that was a course and I gotta break that course. Because I see the pattern, I broke the pattern. And from since I broke the pattern, I just keep going on. There's no stopping. Because there's a part of me that is limitless. That energy is limitless. So I'm basically telling you, you have to get in tune with your limitless self. Get rid of the limited self with the limiting beliefs. And so you could become the first millionaire in your family. You could become the first person to save $100,000 in your bank account, $250,000 in your bank account. You know what I mean? $500,000 in your bank account. How much you want? Okay, I realize, okay, that everything in this world is basically for free now. Let me explain to you what I mean, okay? Because my service, I will tell you, it's not for free, okay? And then you might hear me say now that everything is for free, but catch it, okay, the way how I'm going to explain it to you. Now, if you want a vehicle, there are places that sells vehicle. You can go there, you can touch the vehicle. You can open the vehicle. You can smell the vehicle. Okay? You have that point of contact. It's not hidden from you. Their lands, the lands are all here. Their houses, they're all here. You could see them, you could taste them, you could touch them, you could smell them. Everything in this world that anybody designed this world, they could see it. They could taste it, they could touch it, they could smell it, they could do all of that. Well, if you can do that in the physical, three-dimensional world, well, in the non-physical world, you could do the same thing. Because what you're seeing in the physical, three-dimensional world is a reflection of what is taking place in the non-physical world. So, if you believe deep in your heart that you are a millionaire, and you have that feeling, there's nothing no one in this world could say or do to stop you from becoming that. Because why? You're manipulating energy. It's energy manipulation. I remember when I set in motion, okay, the way how I want to just and present myself when I start to do certain things, okay, that I want to do. And I've already picked up how much suit from my tailor. Okay, don't make those suits. And I sit down and I remember when, I close my eyes, I imagine myself. I remember I close my eyes and I see the people sitting, listening to me. I see myself just this way and everything. And I don't start to see the pattern because I don't start to get the stuff on them. I remember quite vividly too. My mother sent a piece of cloth, a certain piece of cloth for me, which I didn't even like it to me, as if the cloth wasn't smelling like new or fresh, okay? And she told me, a lot of her friends and things, they own stores and so on, which I do own a store too, okay? And so she sent that cloth for me from Trinidad, okay? And I told the tailor, say, after all the suits, you're going to make this one, it could be the last because I don't, and the tailor end up and make that one first. And it's like, I fall in love with it, the tailor fall in love with it. I was like surprised. I couldn't believe that piece of cloth. Like, it was so nice. You understand? I couldn't believe. Okay, so it's the same thing. You can have something right before your eyes and you can't see it. Something so good and you can't see it. When you become more aware, when you have a better understanding of energy and how energy can be manipulated, and you start to practice, you have to be patient, okay? Because everything works by law and order, and there's a lot of gestation. For example, if you look at this earth, you see a pattern. You see that things that have been bought in this world in a very quick time, and there are those that take a longer time. For example, if you take a male chicken and a female chicken, and they came together, and that chicken started to lay its eggs. because it been with the male. And the seed of life is inside of that. It could bring forth. But there are other eggs that can't bring forth, you know. The eggs you go in the supermarket and you buy those eggs, they can't hatch, they can't bring forth because there's no real intelligence as in it. That's why AI, as in artificial intelligence, could never go with this kind of intelligence, you know. Don't make them trick you. Okay, so there are eggs that can bring chicken and there are eggs that cannot bring no chicken. Okay, they can't hatch. Well, the intelligence in the egg that forms into chicken and become a chicken, the energy, intelligence that transmute into a chicken. I remember when you crack an egg, it's all like liquid, right? And all of that liquid going to change into another form, right? That is solid, okay? And the intelligence will tell the chicken to pick itself out of the egg. And it will do so in a short space of time. I think it's about like, say, 21 days. About it within 3 weeks. And then there's a baby in its mother's womb. And when it's between 9 to 10 months, the intelligence of which that baby is will produce what is called birth pain and the mother to bring forth. Man, it's the same thing. It's earning money. It's the same thing. So if you're listening to me, my brother, my sisters, and probably say you grew up like me, you grew up in the Caribbean, you've been brainwashed, you've been colonized, you carry around a colonial mentality, you carry around a mentality of lack and scarcity, and you do not understand epigenetics and how things been passed down. You realize there's certain traumas and certain things that pass down from generation to generation, and you have to break it. So if you're listening to me, okay, and you grew up in a certain family, you grew up in a certain environment, you never had a mentor. You never had anybody to mentor. You never had anyone to coach you. You never had anyone to raise you and to bring you up a certain way. It's never too late, bro. It's never too late, my brothers and sisters. You can reach out to me as a mindset coach. You could reach out to me as one who's self-realized, self-actualized, one who knows how to manipulate energy, one who have manipulated energy to create his reality consciously. Do you know how good I would have felt the very first time in my life to ever reach 1/10 of a million? And it couldn't happen if I wasn't willing to make a sacrifice. Okay, when I leave my job, I had nowhere to turn. And people used to ask me why I leave my job and so on, and what I am doing now. And I say, well, I'm into fitness. They used to ask me, which one makes more money? I say, it's not what makes more money, it's which one I love. And because of that love, okay, I was willing to make the sacrifice. And I can never regret it. Okay, I remember in about, say, 3 months, in 3 months, I make more money than what I was paid when I stopped working, because they paid me for all the years I work for. Okay, and I worked for 17 years. But in 3 months, I make more than that in 3 months. Okay, not in fitness. Okay, but when I went beyond fitness and when I realized I had two sides, I have a physical and a spiritual side. And the physical side of fitness was to show me the spiritual side of health and wellness and fitness and so on in the spiritual realm. So before I finish this discourse, I want to come to a conclusion that if you would search yourself and see the thing that you love to do in this world, even though if it doesn't bring you any money, it could lead you into a path that will help you to bring more in your life and to fulfill your purpose and your calling. There's no coincidence. You're not loving that thing that you love to do by chance. No. It's something built in you to lead you in on a certain path. Okay, so don't just be motivated by money alone, but by the thing you love. Okay, so you wouldn't see it as work. You just love to do what you want to do and you do it. Okay, sometimes that particular thing might not be what will make you a multi-millionaire, but because you pursue it, it leads you to something else. and that something else is gonna bring more. Like for example, the things that I want to accomplish in the health and wellness, in the health and wellness department of life, I realize with me being involved in health and wellness and so on, right? Like in the Caribbean where I'm living here, right? It wasn't gonna bring me the kind of money that I am bringing in right now. Okay, and so I learned also to the power of using the word income. Income. Okay, that's another story for another time because I realize people just say work and earn money and all these things. Income. I love the word income. There's something revealed to me about income. Just like your mind, you have incoming thoughts and outgoing thoughts. There's a secret about income. And many of our people do not know the secret about income. That's why, like for example, let me just say this, okay? In my country, I sell things that other people sell. But I sell at a different price. That's much more affordable for people. Because I'm not thinking about just profit. You see, in school, they teach you profit. They never teach you about income and circulate the income. And always have the income always coming in, multiple sources too. And you're not looking at the size. Nah. You see, they tell you a story of a parable of a man who broke 5 loaves and 2 fishes. But if you really understand that you are the man, and you understand your 5 senses, and you can understand your conscious and subconscious mind, you realize you can start from 0 and just keep multiplying. And the multiplication don't stop. It's only if you stop. Okay, so my brother, my sisters, energy manipulation is not BS. It's real. Okay? But the thing that are blocking you have to do with your belief system. So I've been saying all of this to tell you, get rid of the old belief system. Especially if you're a melanated person. Stop believing this Jesus Mary bullshit. It's a bullshit story. I know that. Okay? They tell you Samson eat honey out of the carcass of a donkey. Honey don't build nothing in nothing dead. Don't make nobody fool you, bro. You have to think. Okay? So, my brother, my sisters, I'm going to just go to the comments. I'm going to read these comments. Okay? Because I really want to thank everybody for tuning in. Okay? So, it was a blessing to have, people tuning in and this message meaning something to them. Okay? Greetings to my brother, whoever the person is, okay, it could be male or female, but you're in Jamaica. Greetings to everyone in Jamaica. And I know people in Jamaica have been programmed the same like people in my country. Okay, the whole Caribbean been programmed a certain way. The entire Caribbean, even the political leaders, most of the time, they're puppets. Okay, and most of the people, they have religious, superstitious mentality, and they have the wrong concept about money. And they do not know how to manipulate energy, and they wouldn't believe in energy. Some of them will believe that is witchcraft. Okay, someone say, hey, mister, greetings to you. Wow, so that's amazing, and it's truth. Yeah, you see, most people do not look for the truth within themselves. They look for the truth from politicians and preachers, and they always get disappointed because they're looking in the wrong places. Okay, you have to say, I am, while touching yourself. I am the way, the truth, and the life. There's no way outside of me. There's no truth outside of me. And there's no life outside of me. Everything is within me. Okay, all is mine. Okay. Everything in this world, it was first mental. It was first a thought. It was first an idea. It was first imagined. So why you think that a millionaire, that it wasn't first a thought or first an idea or first imagined? So why you can't say that you're a millionaire when you only have $10 in your bank account? You can't say it. And you can achieve it. It might take you 5 years. It might take another person 10 years. It might take another person 2 years. It could take a person 1 year. Do you realize, okay, sometimes I look at business places in my country and I normally say, what that business make in 1 day is what some people will make in 10 years and some 5 years. And some a year. And so my goal would be to take what I'm making in a year and desire to make it in a month. And then when I start making that in a month, I would desire to make it in a week. And then when I start making it in a week, I would desire to make it in a day. That's how you're supposed to see life. Okay? And learn to believe in yourself and use the energy and manipulate the energy to give you whatsoever you desire. Okay, as someone will say, how can I manipulate money to myself? Okay, as I mentioned before, money is energy. For example, okay, the wind is blowing here, so and I want you to get this. For example, you could take physical money, okay, and you can touch it. It have a special touch, a special feel, a special smell. And you could count the money that you like to attract in your life, in your imagination. And when you're counting the money in your imagination, you have to be able to recognize your hand. And when you're counting the money in your imagination, you have to count the money knowing that it is your money. And you have to impress the feeling and your subconscious mind that it is your money. If you do not do that, you will be counting money in a supermarket because you're working in a supermarket as a cashier. I'll be working in the governmental ministry as a cashier. I'll be working in the bank as a teller. Counting money. But when you count money in your imagination, knowing that it's your money, you have to do certain things like provide yourself a certain scene, like in your house or in your kitchen or wherever you are and so on. You have to do like if you're acting a movie, like hearing, if you live home with your parents, hearing your parents talking while they're counting this money and so on. Your wife, your husband, whoever it is, okay. You could imagine someone coming out and say, man, you could hear the voice telling you, be making so much money. You know what I mean? I never meet anyone in my family making as much money like you and so on. Okay. You have to know how to play it out. Okay. And whatsoever you play out in the physical three-dimensional, in the non-physical world, it will become a hard and objective fact in this physical three-dimensional world. Okay. Because everything indivisible created from the invisible. Okay, so you can definitely manipulate money. And when it comes to money too, you have to ask yourself, what is your ability and how would you like to solve humanity? Okay. And so you can see yourself doing a particular service to humanity and solving a big problem. So you could think about many, many problems in this world and think about solving them. So the bigger the problem is that you're going to solve. No, like for example, let me make it simple. Do you know how much problem you're going to solve if you can provide the world with a cure for AIDS, a cure for cancer? Do you know what, when people try to produce a cure for cancer and it doesn't come through big pharma, through the systems that want to control the world, you know they want to kill you? How many know about a man named Dr. Sebi? They put him in court and all thing for say he had cure for AIDS and the man could have provide more than the amount they asked for him to provide proof of. So it's about solving problems, okay? So you're not just gonna manipulate energy because you just want money and you want to, show off. No, this is a service thing. This is a thing about solving others, okay? So let me go on with this comment here because in an hour time I'm gonna finish. Someone say the energy. Okay. So your whole mind, okay, is magnetic and electrical, okay? That energy is magnetic and electrical. So the more you get in touch with your magical and electrical self, is more you're gonna get in alignment with nature. You see, look at nature. Nature is who is feeding all of humanity. So it doesn't matter how much war been fought or how much bombs or guns. If nature decides that it's not going to feed humanity, humanity going to starve to death. So if the sun don't rise up to give its energy and its vitality to all of humanity and all of nature, everyone going to die. There's nobody who call and no so-called Jesus and no God in no sky. No other man, no one going to come and save you. If this whole earth was to suffer from a great drought because the sun refused and there's total darkness and nothing could bring forth, nothing could really bring forth without the sun, without the light. So if your life is not bringing forth, your darkness, you're in darkness. How deep is that darkness? Well, then check your belief system. Is your belief system you have to check? Where you inherit from your father, and your mother. Someone says here that I believe that I am a zillionaire, right? You really believe that? You're lying to yourself. You don't really believe that. It doesn't feel natural to you. It doesn't feel natural to you. If you never play soccer, right, and you hear me teaching what I'm teaching, and you believe that you're gonna be better than Lionel Messi, what was his name? Messi and trying to remember the other famous soccer player. I even Pele. Let me use one of those older guys. Okay. You believe Ronaldo, any one of them, okay, and you say you're gonna be a soccer star like them, and so you never play soccer. That can't feel natural to you. If you want to become a great baseball player, you never play baseball. You want to be a great basketball player. You want to be greater than Michael Jordan, and you never play no basketball. How will that go feel natural to you? So when people say, "Oh, I want a zillion. I want to become a zillionaire," because they believe that what you're saying is BS. That's why I say that manipulating energy is not BS. It's a fact. But you have to understand your existence. You didn't born in this world being big, You didn't born big. You born a little child. You couldn't walk. You born crippled. You couldn't talk. You born dumb. Couldn't speak. But as remembrance came, because remember you're born in amnesia, a state of forgetfulness. So when you're a month old, you know you're here. 6 months, you still ain't know. Then remembrance started to come back. And then when the very first thing you start to remember is the power of your imagination, you start to get your imaginary friend. You start to imagine the plane. You see a plane, you say, that's mine. Everything, I have a little daughter, everything belongs to her, That's mine. Dad, that's mine. And it's true. Everything in this world belongs to you. It's for the taking. You just have to learn to order and wait. So my brother and my sisters, if what I'm saying makes sense to you and you're left and I like to learn to manipulate energy with me, we can work together. Because I gonna teach you the inner sun science and technology to create your reality consciously. If you don't feel like doing a one-on-one with me, but you want to listen to those teachings, I have a bunch of videos. Okay, and it's just for people who are donating $20 or more. It's on my page, and you can listen to me teaching about the inner sun science and technology to create your reality consciously. Okay, let me say, a so-called guru from India. He take the same thing and he call it inner engineering, but he afraid to say the sun. Because when you're knocking head with economic forum and all of that, and you're knocking head with certain people and so on, when thing like the big pandemic come, you going to change your tone. Because when the big pandemic came around, then you start to see the true color of the man, Yeah, so you talk about inner engineering. It's the same thing I'm talking about, the inner sun science and technology. They don't want you to know it's so simple. Because they never want you to believe that melanated people could have this kind of knowledge, because they make you believe that we're subhuman, They make you believe that we're not thinkers, And some people make me feel ashamed calling on Jesus and talking about Mary. Right now, church full. Right now, my country, church full. You people in my country call me stupid and crazy. Crazy, man. They say I lost my mind. And they're correct. I lost the colonial mind. I lost the limited mindset. I lost the poverty mindset. I lost all that kind of mindset. All the brainwash. I lost all of that. So my brother and my sisters, start to work on manipulating energy to give you whatsoever you desire in this world. Money is your servant. You're not the servant of money. Okay, don't follow money. Let money follow you. Okay? So, yeah. Use your mind to manipulate energy, because your mind, they say, someone will say, show me your mind. I remember a religious person tell me, show me your mind. Energy can be created or destroyed, and energy is invisible. So you walk with the invisible currency. How do you think the dollar and the reserve, how it really came into being? Do you know you could go in the earth and you can find gold and diamond and silver and cobalt and all of these different scarce things, rare earth, all of these things that Trump wants right now and America wants for build the kingdom. So they have to show their true colors right now. Okay. Do you realize all of these things were there to show us that this earth carries everything that we need? This earth carries everything that we need. And all of that is a reflection of the mind. And do you realize that there are people, so much people live in Africa, a continent, a geographical place, but they fail to realize that all the riches that is in Africa is teaching them of the riches that is within themselves. But the colonizers give them a Bible and tell them believe in Jesus and believe a virgin woman open up her leg and give birth. And they believe it. They tell the people in Africa that a man eat honey out of the carcass of a donkey, and they believe it. They tell the people in Africa that a donkey talk to man, and they believe it. They tell the people in Africa that a man take literal water and turn it into wine, but they can't do it. You see, you can't plant pumpkin and reap watermelon. It could never happen. So my brother, my sister, your belief system is why keeping you broke, keeping you dumb, keeping you poor, and making you not understanding energy manipulation. Man, I could tell anybody, I bet my life on it. You can manipulate energy. I do it over and over and over and over, and I will continue to do it over and over and over. I know some people may go just say, that is Obia. He's an Obia man. Man, people turn around and call their own science evil. They call voodoo evil. And you can't have good without evil, you can't have evil without good. And you can't have God and you have the devil, and you can't have the devil and you have God. And you can't be God without you be the devil, and you can't be the devil without you being God. Call me the devil, man. I will answer you because I'm God too. They make you believe that a man betray God in flesh. And you don't realize that your own thoughts has betrayed you. And you just betray yourself, and you speak against yourself, and you just curse yourself. Do you know right now you're speaking against yourself and cursing yourself when you say, I am not, and I do not have? Do you know that? Do you know so much people right now in my country, in church right now, cursing themselves? And they have some man casting spell on them and tell them, they tell them, hey, no, that is God's spell. No, that's dumb spell. That's stupidity spell. That's slavery spell. They're keeping you a slave. What? Pash Jack? He said, Jesus love you. You're correct, you know. Jesus is me and I love me. Thank you. Thank you. I love me. When I look in the mirror, what do I see? I see a man that have both positive and negative thoughts every single moment of his life. So I see God and I see the devil too. You can't say that. Some people can't look in the mirror and see the devil. No. Because that will defeat their delusional beliefs. Okay, I have 6 more minutes because in an hour I'm done. So he said, Jesus love you. In this day and age, when he asks every day, what happened to all the people at the time of the big pandemic? Where was Jesus? Do you know in the time of the big scamdemic, I walk into a church and challenge the pastor. I said, tell me one thing you're saying right there that is not mental or psychological. That wasn't for the thought or idea in your mind. And the pastor used to challenge me before. Okay? And I go right in the church in 2021. And then he said, I come to disturb the church. I said, I didn't come to disturb the church. You tell me I need Jesus. Just like how you right here who come and talk about Jesus love. You tell me so. So now I come to challenge you right to the church. And then he had a bunch of stickers post up in the church about wash hand and sanitizer. I pulled them down. He said he's gonna call the police to arrest me. And I was humble enough to plead with him. Because I know when I catch him, I said, nah, don't call the police. I have a printer right home right now. You say, I'm not living too far from the church. I will go and print them and bring them for you. I could bring them right now. I want me to bring them in the morning. He said, well, I could bring them back whatever. Okay, in the morning or whatever. Okay, I carry them back. We post them back, put them back up in the church. And then about 2023, between 2023 to 2024, I was standing in the driveway right next to my vehicle when he passed by in the road. And I shot him. I said, Pastor, what's going on, man? I say, you see what I told you? You see why I pulled on those things in the church where I tell you that wasn't God, that was politicians controlling you and so on and all of that. You know, a preacher man turn around and tell me that he always knew it was fake. So you know something is fake and you are called police for a man. So who be more righteous? Me. So, person who say Jesus love you, I want you to make another comment. I want to hear you respond to that because I want to close just now. Give me a response to that if it's still on. You see, that's why people who do not know how to manipulate energy, they would always believe in what they call prophecy. And they know is reality creation consciously. So a man could come to me and I could prophesy. I could prophesy over your bank account. I could prophesy over every aspect of your life and it's going to happen. If you believe me and you walk with me and I do my part over here and you do your part over there, I will connect you. I remember a woman reached out to me. She had a case with Geico in America. To cut a long story short, she wins the case. That same woman was in a building that they didn't have no allow them when fire and so on and all of that, and she had to struggle with smoke and all of that. And she when she came, she reached out to me and tell you exactly what to do. Come on, don't let nobody fool you. Time for black people wake up. Time for melanated people wake up and realize you can bend reality to your will. You can manipulate energy. Don't let nobody fool you. It's not BS, it's real. You know what they do? They tell you a blonde hair boy, some Jewish boy, manipulate energy. So he could turn water into wine and you believe that. He could walk on water. You know his son does walk on water every day. When you see the sun rising, he starts to walk on water. And you know the sun is where does give all the plants its value to bring forth. I call a wine. I have a book named How to Turn Water into Wine. Go get that book, man. And I have a book called Your Mood is Your Fortune. You know when you start to get in a sort of mood, you know there's energy, you know. Emotion is energy in motion. Start to manipulate energy, man. Boy, I feel so good. I never feel so good in my life. Hey, I was the most miserable man following Christianity. I went to church. But it wasn't no one preached to me and frightened me, you know. From a little boy with tears in my eyes, I beat my chest and say, who am I? Who am I? And who is God? From a little boy, I set out to discover who am I and who is God for myself. Bro, I am telling you the honest truth. When I found myself, I found God. And I realized I could create consciously. And I realized I could change my bank account to how I want it to be. And then I started to do the work. The first time, I was very, very tired and sleepy. I sat in a chair. And I closed my hand. I desire when I wake up that I will just stretch my hand. And when I stretch my hand, I'll feel a heavy bottle filled with water. Man, I fell asleep. When I wake up, just as I wake up, I stretch my hand. And next to me, a bottle filled with water. I turn around in the house and say, who filled this bottle with water? Who told you to fill this bottle with water? They said, I just feel strongly led something inside of me. That's what they say, yeah. Something inside of me tell me, just go and fill a bottle of water and put it right next to you there. And when you wake up, you get your water. I say, something? I said, that's something you're talking about is God, you know. I said, your intuition is God. He's your inside teacher. Then you know what happened? I did it a second time. Was real tired at a special chair in the house. Okay, that I used to sit down. Just me alone used to sit down in that chair there. Okay. Then I was in a relationship before. Okay. It was a toxic relationship. The woman didn't believe one thing. That I was saying. That's why I experienced that two shall be in bed, one taken and the other left. When I was taken, okay, I had the board from the skull and all of that. I had the resurrection. I have all of those kind of experience. She didn't have no happen. Up to now, she don't believe one thing. And I sat in a chair and I desire that a bottle will be filled with water and put right there again. It happened the second time. See, nah, this thing real. But the thing is, they don't want you to know it's hidden in the Bible. And here the check they do. Okay, because somebody make a comment and I'm going to enlighten you and I could prove it too. The biggest businesses in my country owned by Neville Goddard parents. So somebody mentioned Neville. Neville wasn't bringing no new truth, you know. The same thing that Neville and Neville family. Because Neville family used to own slaves in Barbados, you know, that they wouldn't tell you that. This was the secret they was hiding all the time. And then all the house slaves would sell out. The brothers and sisters go and join the secret society and the secret fraternity and they sign with their blood to keep it a secret. They don't want you to know that. Keep this thing a secret. How to manipulate energy, they try to keep it a secret. But when you become the experience itself, you think anybody could tell me about I think I read any book to know about alchemy? I became alchemy itself. I changed form. When you read in the book of mind science, okay, when you read that, it says you shall change from mortal to immortality. In a twinkling of an eye. The twinkling of an eye is an actual eye that open up inside the universe. It's like an eye open inside the universe. And you change from one farm to another farm, you know. When you understand that, you realize money change from one farm to another farm. You know? When you hold literal money in your hand, you know, it change from one farm to another farm. You know? It change from spirit, you know, into material, into the material, tangible thing, you know. You think they want you know that? You think politicians want you know that? You think preachers want you know that? You believe me that if a certain offer was given to me by certain people who have certain authority, even over social media and all of that, and I accept it, you think they're going to just allow me to do things and I going to go big and viral and all of that? You think that'll happen? Think again. Sometimes people reach out to me and tell me, oh, I can help you do this, SEO, do this, do that for your channel, get more views. And that. Bro, wake to hell up. There's shit you could do. The people who run in the engine could do it. If they want to do it for you. Okay. They can get you go viral in 1 hour. Make nobody fool you. So I know I'm talking. Someone say, hey, why you said Neville lied about what? Sherry, listen to what I said. And I'll say it again. If you have any common sense, you would realize that there's no way anyone could use their imagination for 2 years, from 1920 to 2022, without a prior knowledge of what I'm talking about. That's what Neville said his brother did. Neville also said he was no member of no club, when Neville was actually a member of a club. And I give you the name of the club right now. Neville was Rosicrucian. Go do your research, Sherry. And stop with it. Stop humbugging me. You're humbugging me. I'm telling you so. Because when I talk about it, I provide so much. I did a live and all where I show all the business Neville got a family own. I have a video with another vlog where I provide the newspaper in Barbados where it stated that they had slaves with the death of Richard Goddard. Woman, keep quiet now, man. Go do your research. I mentioned Neville.com, freeNevilleGoddard.com. You can go on top of that too, you can find it. I mentioned Margaret Root Broom too. The woman who gave Neville real we call it Wikipedia thing, where they remove it. And remove the fact that he was part of this brotherhood. And put back one where it's been removed. You want to lie Neville tell? Neville talk about when he talk about his brother, he say Laddad. Instead of say Goddard, he say Laddad. There's so much a lie. I only need to measure one lie, and everything is a lie. So what are you talking about? All you just get caught up with this old Neville. Neville ain't bring nothing new. There's nothing new that Neville bring. These are things that were hidden from people for ages. For ages. That's why there's a pattern in the entire Caribbean. There's certain people that's in the ruling class. Because certain things were passed down to them from lip to ears. So when I tell you that Neville is a liar, because I could prove it. Okay? That's why his family have the biggest businesses in this country. So Sherry, go do some research for yourself, okay? Never lie about everything. When you talk about Abdullah, that's a lie. Why is Abdullah's second name? Why is his surname? Why is his parents' name? Why would a man travel all the way from Ethiopia to come to America go teach a son of an ex-slave master the reality? How to manipulate energy. Girl, wake up now, man. Don't get the other side of me, man. I'll pull you up. Stop worshiping Neville and kissing Neville ass. Too much ass kissing going on the internet. Kissing ass. I want to go do some research for yourself. Someone say, Mr. Can I have your WhatsApp number? You can email me. Okay. You can drop me an email. Okay. I normally give my WhatsApp number when I'm going to do business with people. Okay. And do one-on-one and so on. But you can drop me an email. Feel free to email me. Okay. Here Sherry says, you are the person who taught us about Neville. Of course, how else would I get to show you what I'm showing you now? How else I will I get to teach you and show you all of the businesses right in Kingston? Kingston, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But they change from Goddards and Sons to what is called now Currys and Ace and so on. And they have the most people employed. And they make sure the people were vaccinated in this country more than anybody else. Even those people who was working on probation. They tell them they cannot be employed unless they take the vaccination. Woman, keep quiet. Don't make the lion inside of me start. One thing I hate is ass kissers. People kissing other people's ass. You make Neville and them fool you. Neville, Joseph Murphy, Tony Robbins. But you name it, you watch me. You call any bestseller. Any white man who's any bestseller. And any self-help, self-development, you call the name, I show you everything what they're written. It's hidden in the Bible. Can't fool me. Black people been manipulated and brainwashed with this Bible shit. And it's hard to get it out, you know. You think it is when you go to school? I send in my little daughter to school. Yeah, well, she tastes a little bit of the programming. Me stop she from go to school. My little, up to this morning, I woke up, my little daughter tell me she want to go to school because she didn't understand yet. So, Sherry, if you go up in America or wherever you come from, you never travel, never go nowhere. Some of you never even have a passport. Some people in America, they never even have own a passport. Go travel. Do something, man. You get me worked up. You get me worked up. Go study Neville. Neville say, that a voice spoke and say, and God walk with them. And a woman at his side say, and if God walk with them, where is he? And God, and the voice say, at thy side. And the woman turn around and say, you mean to say that Neville is God? And the voice say, yes. In the act of awakening, Neville is God. And then Neville say his mentor, the name Abdullah. Abdullah is a servant. And he black. And he's servant of God. And he means servant of God. You all read between the lines, man. And get some common sense. I deal with it real hard. Me no little pussy boy just coming on the internet talking. I never born and grew up in America. Yeah, a lot of people in America that sell themselves. They want to become rapper. You see some man 40 something year old talking about they want to become rapper. when you go back to the men of them back, way back, Big Daddy Kane and them. I remember when I was a little boy, I used to watch magazine with Big Daddy Kane and all of them people back there. These kind of people never used to sing no gangster rap, you know. Same thing with Jamaica. When they talk about Yellow Man and them, Yellow Man and them never used to sing them kind of foolishness with them other fellas that sing, you know. All them brainwash and buy out. Bring wrong influence on the people. Now I bring the right influence and teaching how to bend reality, energy, okay, and manipulate energy. You come and tell me fucking Neville. Like if I study Neville, I never kissed Neville ass. I was playing a game because I know you were just using the Abdullah thing. Why you think Wayne Dyer? Wayne Dyer was a plagiarizer host of different people book and all kind of thing, and then Neville Wayne Dyer make so much a million so PBS and all that. Woman, girl, watch now. He never mentioned none about Abdullah because he know not true. And then with AI now they have some fake black man that talk about Abdullah. Because the knowledge come from Ethiopia. Woman. East Africa. Wake your ass up. Why you think the president in Ghana, because you know Ghana is the gateway. Let me tell you about myself, man, and my bloodline. When I take me from Ethiopia, they pass we through to Ghana before we come to the Caribbean. Ghana open. I was say, oh, people could travel from the diaspora and come. Ethiopia. Fuck anybody could tell me any stupidness about America and England and with the white man safe and with the white man. Common sense alone will teach me. If Africa is so rich from the earth look just like me, every human, everyone having human experience on this planet have to get food from the earth that look like me. Boy, you gonna fool me? I can't be fooled. Woman, don't get me angry. This is a good angry, eh? The fuck, I can't be fooled. The earth. Reflection. Lord, watch. And watch the earth. Everybody seeing Africa from a geographical standpoint. No. I see Africa from a metaphysical standpoint. That's inside of we. Some people, wake up. What they call it alchemy, all kind of thing is inner sun science. Is the sun, the inner sun in you? You might think you have a solar plexus. Joe Dispenza then tell you about heart. The fuck your heart can't move without the sun. But how the clock gonna move? Tick, 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 tick. How the clock gonna move? That's how your heart is going on. But all the sun. But it's used to mark time. Hey, woman, don't. Let me keep quiet. When I come make videos, sometimes I don't want to say certain things. Common sense. Stop kissing Neville ass. Neville was scripted, just in case you don't know that. When I had my real awakening, I couldn't even remember the freaking the date. I couldn't remember this. I couldn't remember that. Neville go off and tell he going back in the Bible and say how much a days. Because it's fucking scripted. Wake up. Scripted. But why you said Neville lie? Of course Neville is a liar. And a fool too. You know Neville mean fool. If you really read between the lines, you know, Neville exposed his entire race. And though you can't pick it up. Man, let me done with you. Just read the rest thing. You are the person who taught us about Neville. Okay? But then listen to what I say now. Of course, someone said the teaching evolve. Someone said I'm with you, Guru. Thank you. Greetings to you. How old is your baby now? My baby is three and some. Okay? 3 years and 3 months. Can you drop your email address for me, mister? You remember the email for this? This one there? Okay. Okay. Yeah, Abdullah Neville Garden at gmail.com. That's the email. You see, when most people don't realize about Abdul and Neville Goddard, right, is master and slave. The game of life, we play the game, right? Alive. And the game of life is this: head and tail. Master and slave. You either be a thinker or you end up just being an empty walker. A slave. People who join secret society and so on, why does call themselves master? Why does get master mason and this and that? And which other name again? What the title just give him again? I'm trying to remember. But master, why does call himself master? You can't master without slave. I think someone they want to mention why he's screaming. Someone, she asked, is Ethiopia good? Of course. Of course. Of course, Ethiopia is a good country. All of Africa, as a matter of fact. The problem with Africa is governance, puppet leaders. People who've been educated in the West and have no knowledge of self. That's the only problem, okay? But I'm not going to go on and on. I'm going to definitely come to close because I don't go 16 minutes beyond the time and I just wanted us to do an hour, okay? So the whole point of what I'm saying, you have to manipulate energy to give you anything that you want. And energy manipulation is not bullshit. It's just self-mastery and patience you have to have. And you have to be willing to unlearn and relearn and reprogram your subconscious mind. And for melanated people, it is very important you get rid of these stupid-ass beliefs that you have. That's all I'm saying. Okay? And Sherry, if you want to go Ethiopia for study, you don't have to say so. Keep it a secret. Don't tell no man. Sit with you, tell no man. You talk too much. You don't have to say anything. And that's why some people don't manifest and they don't manipulate energy the way how they're supposed to manipulate energy to prove that energy manipulation is not BS. It's real. It's fact. Anytime you realize that energy manipulation is real, you don't call her no Jesus. I talk to no freaking master, no savior outside of yourself and making yourself stupid. You're the cause of everything in your life. Nobody come in here could save you. So, Sherry, where you want to see my eyes, sir? Up to now, you ain't find a husband? You always harassing me, eh? Up to now, you ain't find a husband? Okay, but anyway. Yeah, so my brother, my sisters, it is very important that you become more of a doer. Practice visualization every day. Know exactly where you want and write it down. There's magic in your fingers, just in case you didn't know that. The ink in the pen represents the blood. Why tenders have you sign in when the bank own you? They have your sign to the bank and the credit union. You know how much people in my country controlled by the bank and the credit union, and them is the most religious people? And they are writing up on the vehicle in a scripture verse, and they owe the bank and the damn credit union. So when I come out here to teach, okay, I am telling the honest truth. I try my best to be calm and to not use certain words and things, but I really want to roar like a real lion. And the person said they always make you use black ink. It doesn't matter what color the ink you use, it represents the blood. Most everybody is water. With the devil, them who keep in your lower self. That's what I mean when I say the devil. The system that keep in your lower self, you're making a deal with them. Because the borrower is always a slave to the lender. We want to be a slave on the planet. My whole video, this whole life, and I'm just telling people, if you don't want to be a slave, learn to manipulate energy. That's all I said. You come in and tell me about Neville. Neville ain't no savior. Neville ain't nothing what you think Neville is. More than someone who they belong to some secret brotherhood. That's how they're doing it. So you always make it. So what they do, they try to be one step ahead of you always. So they are then gonna say, "Oh, he said that before." So what that's what the white man doing, you know? Making you believe that he's more intelligent than you and he's a step ahead of you. You know, no step ahead of you. So you always say, "Oh, is he been say it? He been do that? He been say he been do that?" They try to make you believe that Einstein is the wisest man ever live and all kind of thing. This is the Jews of them propaganda, the so-called Israelites of them propaganda. Them is who enslaved the whole world. That's why Hitler wanted us to get rid of them completely. Them is who they behind everything. Venezuela, all of them they behind that. Ukraine, all of that. NATO, all of them, them is who they behind the whole thing. Them is the synagogue of Satan, them is real synagogue. Satan now, when I say Satan, I'm not talking about no evil entity outside, you know. They want to control and enslave you. They want to control and enslave the world. So all I just saying, once you practice to manipulate energy, nobody can stop you from manipulate energy. That's why you give them choice. That's why you have mind and speech. So because they know that the earth would vibrate a certain way at a certain time and people are going to wake up, people are going to become enlightened and so on. They have to make you believe that they provide information for you. So never been a part of a Rosicrucian and all of that. You understand? And he come out and speak and so on. You think, as a matter of fact, what they call secret society, there's no secret. Everything they right in front of you, but you can't see it. So me calling him out and saying that me ain't trying to say he evil or anything like that. Because it take evil to balance good. And it take good to balance evil. You need both of them. And you need liars to get the truth. And you need the truth to get the liars too. So a lie is the truth and the truth is a lie too. So we're talking. So get the thing understand what I'm trying to say. So me call him Neville got a liar. Now mean you can't get truth out of what Neville say. I just say when he say he was coached by a black man named Abdullah is a lie. After that, he can't give you a surname for Abdullah. Just like I tell you about Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, they can't give you no surname. They just represent, and so when he say, oh, they represent states of mind, and you think, oh, never bring enlightenment to the world. Never not bring enlightenment to the world. Because my experience alone show me everything. Give me all the confirmation. Now I tell you it's all about the sun, the S-U-N. Okay, so my brother, my sisters, you know, let me not go on now. I'm going to come on. I'm going to definitely stay. You are a brilliant man. You look healthy. Thank you, Sherry. But I will always tell you the truth, okay? And I ain't going to compromise. Stop kissing Neville's ass and stop believing with everything we Neville say and believe that Neville was innocent. Oh, you understand? Neville got to come from a family that he used to own slave. Remember that. So basically, all of these people who run slave plantation, they knew the metaphysical understanding about the Bible. That's all I'm really trying to tell people. All these people who was running the slave plantation, if you chase them way back, you go way back to where they call in Israel. That's why they use the Bible. And then on the other side, those who use the Quran too when they enslave them in the Sahara slave trade too. So you're talking about. So any side you go, you chop. So if you get caught up in secular Christianity, you chop. And if you get caught up in secret society, you get chopped too. You're still not free. I free. I speak like a free man. Okay? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the result when it comes to subscription and all of that and going viral and all of that. It doesn't matter. I'm a free man. That's the most important thing. Because why? I know for sure you could manipulate energy. Done. End of story. So, my brother, my sister, I really want to thank you all very much. I really want to go on another live, and I plan to do an hour and 24 minutes, almost 25 minutes. I really, really want to thank you all very much. If you want to go over to my Black Mad Guru YouTube channel, I'm going to continue there. Okay, with another live. I'm planning just to go for an hour. I really, really want to thank you very much. I want to encourage you to support this work, support my books, okay, and whatever I have to offer, support it, because you know that those who's behind this whole machine, okay, this whole social media machine, okay, they don't want certain people to know that they could manipulate energy at will. They don't want you to know that. If only the people in the Caribbean islands would learn to manipulate energy. The preachers and politicians will be on their knees. That's why all the men who are the knowledge to question the Bible and expose the Bible, they used to kill them. Do you know how much blood the church have on its hand? Because they don't want you to learn to manipulate energy. The email is down below. Someone asked about the email. The email is down below. All the information you want is down below. I know how my life changed financially when I learned to manipulate energy. So you come and tell me about Jesus. You could come, anybody could come and tell me when Jesus and Mary's third. I could use the Bible and interpret to you metaphysically. I could use the Bible and I could interpret it to you esoterically. I could interpret it to you psychologically. And let me say this before I come to a close. I never know there was such a word called esoteric. I didn't know. One time when I was talking the things I'll be talking and so on, right? Because I'm not the kind of person who like to just sit there and keep things quiet and so on. I always want to help people. I remember a young man came to me and said, why you messing with the esoteric? Why you getting involved in the esoteric? I said, why is esoteric? He said the same thing you talking and so on. It's esoteric. So then, you know me, I go check out and do some research myself and see why it's esoteric. But I really read between the lines and so on. After I check out why it's esoteric and so on, I go back to him and say, bro, you asking me the question how I get to know about esoteric and so on, right? I'm asking you the question now. How you know about esoteric? I introduce up to now you can answer me. So maybe you were a part of some secret society and something happened, frightening me, run to church, you know. He run a church. He run go church. And then he was chanting down the church people, but yet he go in church. And you know he used to go around by the schools with some white people. Say he did missionary work. I see him every day, almost every time I just see him. Okay, I don't say I want to give him no more information about him. So see, these kind of people, they're sick. So yeah, the email, you want my email link down below. Of course, I'm willing to teach you how to manipulate energy, and I've been dropping so much of gems. Every time you close your eyes and you use your imagination in whichever way you want to use your imagination, it manipulating energy, but you have to learn to understand that there's a lot of gestation, so everything has time and a season. That's why it's important that you write it down. Because when you get the harvest or the fruit, then you will know for sure. And a big problem too with most people too, right? They always want to receive, they never want to give, you know. You know, I remember one time I go in the book of Mind Science, which is the Bible, to try to teach people a lesson, right? And this is it. And I will say it now. They show you that a man looking for his father's ass, which is a secret, and he want to meet a seer. A seer. Remember a wise man, a prophet, a seer, a mystic. It's the same kind of person never talk about it. It's a self-realized, self-actualized person, right? And this was the man conversation. He said, there's a man who is a seer. He named Samuel. Okay, there's been in high places and so on. We're going to meet him and we're going to ask him where to find the asses and so on, okay? And he said, how could we go to the man without a gift? We have to have something to bring to the man. You have something to give to the man. So sometimes when you see we charge and we tell people, oh, one-on-one and this and that, it's a principle we're walking by. But once you put more value on money, you know why you have so much of our people so broke? They put so much value on money. Boy. They put so much value on money. You realize I could take $100 million and put you on a deserted island. how rich you can be with $100 million on a deserted island? Tell me, how much value the $100 million will be? You see how people put so much of value on money more than themselves? So they don't even want to pay for a course. They don't even want to hire a one-on-one. They don't even want to do that, but they want things to just happen for them. They want you to teach about to manipulate energy. But they don't realize that when you speak to them, it's your energy you're using. But I do it because I walk by a certain principle, and I know once I enrich anybody's life, in return, my life must and will be enriched. It don't have to come directly from you, but it will happen. That's surety. Okay, so someone says here, okay, we come from Jerusalem, and someone says, same person says, our slave ship was come from Africa. Then the same person says, yes, the moon moved the water in our body. Okay, now I could call my body a slave ship because the mind control the body. Okay, and your mentality is what makes you a slave or a master. It's as simple as that. So it has nothing to do with Africa and all that kind of shit. So when I talk about slave and all of that, is where you live psychologically speaking. It's if you just living on the surface, you're not gonna understand what me say. And when you start to talk about Jerusalem and all kind of thing, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Because the only Jerusalem I know is a psychological place inside of me, and is a place of joy, peace, and happiness. There's no other place. So don't make them fool you. Because every geographical place come from a psychological place, because if you don't have sight, you can't see to know. So everything is within and be reflected on the outside. Okay? So if you're saying you come from Jerusalem and you mean you come from a place of joy, peace, and happiness, I can understand that. But when you start to come and talk about our slave ship, what kind of ship you're talking about? A ship we've been built by hand, a ship that doesn't build by hand. This is a ship that doesn't build by hand, you know. So when they tell you the Christ man go in a ship and go over to the next side, when you change your mind, you know, you flip your mind from one state to another state, that is you talking about. No man, no freaking Jewish man. How can we support you financially? I have a PayPal. You could support that. Yeah, I have Fitting Seekers University. You could join that. I have the Inner Sun Science and Technology, that course that you could just listen to the videos if you're donating $20 or more. You understand? As I say, all the links down below, you could check out the links. Someone say, well, we run into Africa. I don't understand that. Yes, Africa is a white man name. Okay, well, give me the right name. Okay. What is the right name? You see, sometimes people major and minor. What is the right name? And this is right. No. It's understanding mostly that anything that is on the outside is within. So it doesn't matter which name they change and this and that. Sometimes people say, oh, there was no J and Yahshua is Yahuwah. It's all kind of different stupidness. It's foolishness. Yeah, repent is a rapid change of mind. And nothing to do with religion. That's why you could only be transformed when you renew your mind or rearrange your mind. But the people who tell you that repentance is not nothing to do with religion is the same people who give you religion. Don't make they trick you. They have to cover up the fact that your own people are selling you out by joining their fraternities. So that's what's going on. So they put a bunch of information on the internet. And they're blinding people with a bunch of information. Okay? So, okay, Akibulan is original name of Africa. Okay, so just like my country, they call it Simmons and the Grenadines, but the original name was Haruna. Okay, so if any country or continent has ever been colonized, they might change the name, yes. Okay, but the thing is, once you have an awakening experience and you wake up from the dream of life, that's the most important thing than anything else. Nobody could fool you anymore. That's what I'm saying. You have to practice every living day of your life to manipulate energy. And I'm saying energy manipulation is not BS. That's my whole message. It's not BS. It's a fact. It's real. So live by that. Scipio Africanus, this is the white man name. Okay, so anywhere they go, they conquer, they steal, they do this and they change name and all of that. But that is not what you need. Don't ban upon all of the history and information. That thing we're keeping our people. Someone say even song like the root word for alchemy. Yeah. So my brother, my sisters, focus on what is important. Focus on what is important. The biggest slavery in the world right now is economic slavery. And all of that will boil back down to your identity. If you know your identity, you will save yourself out of slavery. Don't be distracted by names. Focus on the esoteric teachings. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to tell people. I'm pointing you within. I'm not telling you to look on the outside and give me a bunch of information. That's not what my mission is about. We are the sons. You can't be sons of God and you're not God, man. Don't tell me nothing about a son. You're God. My son can't be nothing different than me. A goat don't bring a pig. Every seed reproduces of their own kind. There's a lot of melanated people like to say, oh, we are children of God. We are sons of God. Shut the hell up. You're God. The young of a goat is a goat. The young of a sheep is a sheep. The young of a cow is still a cow. Telling me about. But sons of God, you're God. Afraid to say so? How can black nations become free? It's an individual thing. A nation don't care just free self so. As a collective, it's an individual thing. Okay? So, if you look at the law of reproduction, as I mentioned, that every seed and every species must and will reproduce after its own kind. If I am a free man and the experience that I have is true, and I definitely learn to manipulate energy, and I'm telling you that, and you really believe, and you start to practice, then you have the same result. Same thing. That's why preachers are producing people like themselves. Secret fraternity producing people like themselves. That's why you go to a Methodist church, you're a Methodist. You go to an Anglican, you're an Anglican. Go Jehovah's Witness, you're a Jehovah's Witness. You go to a Seventh-day Adventist, and all of them make you what? Stagnated. You can't go no further, you know. You live like an idiot and you die like an idiot. Can you not grow no further? A mango tree can't bring nothing else but mango. What you think an Adventist can bring? Adventist stupidness with the learn from LNG White and all of that. And all the religion that black people believe in start by some white man or some white woman. These are the things that they need if they're going to free themselves. And free yourself individually and you live by example. Anybody who know me could watch and see changes in my life. In every aspect. Even if they don't agree with me, even if they call me stupid and crazy, they're watching me and see the change in my life. Someone say one race of God. Yes, God, yeah, God's asleep and God awake too. Yeah, wise God and dumb God too. You don't know that? Man, I'm not going to entertain this pun a bunch of shit, but the sons of God are Israelites and all kind of shit. Just say I am God and done. The elect and then rest of nation. You make them fellas who does it on the street and who talk about it's Hebrews right and them. You have all kind of seed in a human. You talking shit. Them Hebrews like people and all that. Just stop talk shit, man. The man who call themselves Hebrew Israelite, what they need to do is provide employment for all the rest of the people. That's what they need to do. And this is right. We are all God having a human experience. Now you're talking, yes. But it could be God asleep or God awake. Let me just read these comments and definitely I want to close. After citizens become, and then the nation will be free. No. What the nation will be free is the nation inside of you with all your thoughts. Your whole mechanism is what will be free. You get anything wrong, Sherry? You know what I mean? No nation on the outside and the collective of people. No. And there's no such a thing as no citizen. You're just passing by. This is a vacation. The vacation. Always remember your mortality and your immortality. I just passing through. You too. Even notice the changes from the old videos. Thank you very much. Is the course on Patreon enough to help us change our life? Look, even the things I just sent to you on every video is just enough. It's just that people like complexity. That's what people love. Things so simple. You know, I remember a time a man offered me even more money because he think I was lying to him, you know. He think I was hiding something to him, you know. And then he was willing to go give another man 15,000 US. The man was offering him his books and all of these kind of things. And he was willing to do that because he believed. He was telling me if there's more money I want and all that, because he believed there's a particular secret and I hold in that secret. No. We'll be telling you the same thing. And sometimes we charge you for course and so on and all of that is because the reason why we charge you because you put value on money. And so because you prefer it, you will end up and pay more attention because people don't pay attention. That's why I say I didn't even want to go this long. I just wanted it was done an hour. But as the intuitive person that I am and spontaneous person, I like to follow my spirit. That's why I'm still here speaking. Okay, so is the course on Patreon enough to help us change our lives? That's what I'm telling you. Even without the course and just listen to me, it's enough to. It's how ready are you, and if it really resonates with you, and so on. But I am telling you, my brother, my sisters, there's a principle I learned, and I'm telling you that. Never put more value on money than yourself. Learn that. But many of us, it's because we know that you pay more attention when you pay for something. You offer our people something for free. Man, you could be giving a speech and people down in the audience talking to one another, doing all kind of thing. That's how they operate, you know. That's how they operate. But if you charge plenty money, because they're paying a lot of money, don't pay attention. Why you think Tony Robbins, all of these people, what name? Well, Bob Proctor die, all them. Why you think they charge so much money? I see a guy say how he play Neuro Knowledge, $15,000. And then he posts the speech with Neuro Knowledge do. Basically, metaphysics teacher. People has asked me, oh, just me never study metaphysics. Me experience metaphysics. Everything me just talk about it with me experience. Anybody who have any experience that ever traveling to the Caribbean or born and grew up in the Caribbean islands, especially these most small islands, man, all the Caribbean islands, as a matter of fact, they tell you, people in the Caribbean don't speak like this. They will call this stupid and crazy in the Caribbean. They tell you that. Anybody who have that kind of experience, they know. Someone say we are still under the Roman rulership. I'm not under nobody's rulership. This system is still a Roman system, but you don't have to have a Roman mindset. Your whole conversation does have to change. You have to have a different language. So if you want to bend reality to your will and you want to transmute energy and so on, you want to prove it for yourself, you have to change your language. The chop people language, people talking a bunch of things, just yap, and speaking against their own self and giving power to the system. When it's all energy, as this person mentioned, it's all energy. Just like we create all the all night consciously or unconsciously. So I'm basically trying to teach people how to create consciously so they won't call on no Jesus and believe in no Jesus and Mary stupid ass story. Because when people go on their knees and pray, they just do beg and besiege. And then to take the damn stupid ass vaccine. You don't want the people in my country take vaccine and today find them in church jumping up and down, making an ass out of themselves like monkeys. If you know how much that does get to me, you can create a school and people will visit you. It's amazing. People always want to tell you what to do. You do what you have to do. But so I don't like to take advice from people, you know, to be honest with you. I like to follow my intuition. I be real, I be honest. That's why sometimes I like to walk alone. They say too much cook to spoil the broth. People always want to give ideas. And I'll be honest, no disrespect to my sister making the comment, but being honest, from my own experience, the poorest people in society always want to give the most ideas. But they themselves don't do nothing. They don't do nothing, but they always want to give you ideas. I don't like to, I'm not the quickest person to take ideas from people. I'll be honest and real with you. Yes, you're right. Yes, you have to use money. Of course, if you don't have no money in this world, nobody ain't gonna listen to you. Don't make nobody fool you. All the people don't make an ass of themselves and talk about Jesus and church and all of that. The poorest people in church just be treated like shit. I always say that. If I go to a church and you go to a church and I have a certain job and you have a certain job, let's say you clean the street, you're working with the sanitation department and I work in the customs department. What do you think can lead? Because I remember at church, not too far from where I lived there, right? I see a time a lady used to be going and so on. And time I had a conversation with she and so on, right? And she said, oh, she husband doing himself, well, I'll go church with she and all of that. I say, the day that her husband started to go church with her, the husband, when I do see the husband, I said, I don't watch you know, he want lead. I don't see he want lead. He walking with the customs in the country, You know, not too long afterwards, that time I was passing the, you know the preacher, that same preacher who they tell me that how he didn't know COVID was fake. After I went in the church and pulled on the posters he had inside and he was going to call the police. The same preacher, I don't watch here and I don't see how he cut it. I don't say to myself, you see that woman husband is a custom officer? I could bet you one of these days I'm going to cross by this church and I'm going to see he and the pulpit. He's a custom officer, he making good money. The preacher put him on the pulpit, you know, see it? So don't make nobody fool you. Money talk and bullshit walk. You could talk about the Jesus and church and God and Jesus coming soon and all that, you have no money. Bet your ass. Wasting time on the planet. Just a feeder. Eat, sleep, shit, and talk shit. That's what religious people been doing. So when I speak with a certain kind of passion because I grew up in the Caribbean. I know Caribbean people is. If you come to the Caribbean islands, you see all the people in the vehicle with all kind of scripture. All kind of scripture right up on the vehicle and the bitches of them or the bank. You go in bank and credit union, my country bank and credit union is full. Credit union is a union of creditors. They give you a creditor's mindset. I've been there too. When I used to work by the post office. I used to be join credit union. I was going and borrow. I remember the first time a young man who went to school with me, okay, when he tell me, bro, you know you have thing in credit union? I said, no. What did us do there? He said, credit union. He said, how much money you put there, you could borrow 5 times. I said, bro, repeat that again. That's when I had the poverty mentality, and I didn't know better. When I believe in secular Christianity, I'm making an ass out of my own life and didn't know. I said, bro, repeat that again. What you say? He said, I said, bro, you mean to say if I have $100 in the credit union, I could borrow 500? I said, man, you joking, man. I said, bro, I could call the brother name and I ain't gonna do that. I said, bro, repeat that again. What you say? So you're telling me if I have $500 in the credit union, I could borrow 5 times of that? He said, man, yes, I could borrow 2005. And you know, check me. And they join. So everything I talk from experience. I know the challenge. I know what life is for melanated people. That's why most of our people, when they leave these islands, with the same kind of mindset, and they go to America and Canada, all they could do come back with an accent, talking like a fucking Canadian. That's why I love Jamaicans, you know. Jamaicans don't change their accent. Trinidadians don't change their accent either. I hardly believe Barbadians just change their accent too, but my country where I come from, where I live here, when they reach America and Canada, they start to talk like some fucking Yankee. Because they're not themselves. Let me just read these comments and energy, frequency, and vibration. That's the language. That's the language you're talking now, Sherry. That's the language where you talk. Not come give me no Neville bullshit. Energy, vibration, frequency, and nothing to do with Neville, and nothing to do with nobody. That's just your secret that control this whole universe. I'm not from experience. I vibrate faster. A massive vibration. Guy talking joke. You free, but you still under the Roman rulership. The Roman system. I'm not under any fucking thing. You understand? Because I make choice for myself. So you're talking about, I'm not trying to change system. I would have to be a fool to try to change the system. You know, from what I noticed a bunch of Rastafarians destroy their own life, trying to change the system. They can't change the system. I meet all kind of people try to change this. I'll just do it. Yap, 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 yap. No. You become the change. And when people see the change, that's what I'm talking about. So to say, but Roman rulership, of course, this whole system set up from the old Roman system and everything. Nothing changed, nothing new under the sun. Is the same thing. And it doesn't matter how long you're here, you still have to be working and changing yourself, nothing else. Someone say church is a business, bro. This is a business. There's no other church. There's no other church. The only church is this. And this is a business. I talking to you is business. What do you think this is? This is a giving and receiving. It's business. Do you know your breath is a business? You inhale and exhalation. Inhalation and an exhalation. One is giving and one is receiving. You receive from the plants and they give back to the plants. So stop talking, man. Because the church is a business. Everybody know church is a business. This is a business. Your mind. That's why in the Caribbean, old people say, mind your business. Your mind is your business. So no. I'm not going to read some of his comment, man. It's from your Roman Catholic. Man, I could tell you blame people all your life, man. You just talk about people. Talk about you. I talking about manipulating energy. Tell me how you willing to set out to manipulate energy. Mr. Let me see. Danny Allah. However, Israel. I could tell some Israel. Put Israel to name and all kind of thing. Look like a Hebrew Israelite or some shit or the other. But the Most High Son gonna change it. What the fuck? I'm chopping this talking here. Facts. Yes, but how far you can go? How far you can go, bro? Let me tell you something, right? It takes some people, right, have to have hundreds of millions of dollars in this world to feel accomplished, while some people just have to have hundreds of thousands to feel accomplished. Is what it means being most feel most successful to you. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Okay, and I'm quoting that from All Nightingale. And All Nightingale and them, okay, knew the secret of how to manipulate energy. And they put it in all different forms. Okay. So success can mean different things to different people. But I'm telling you, there's no success in you being religious and superstitious and making an ass out of yourself and being a monkey. Because a monkey means an unorganized mind. Okay, and our people definitely need, some good licks, some with words, because our people like to tell them how it's a nice thing, and they don't like to be corrected. Do you have two choices? You can accept what's going on externally or create your own reality from inside out. This is a very good comment. Okay, and you can see how much this is different from this person who have 999 and Israel. And it's somehow or other he receive seed some way that make he think, well, he's special and he chosen, and he pick up some sort of doctrine from somewhere. You realize them brothers, they would be talking about who be Israelite, they're hustlers too, but they ain't gonna tell you. But everything is a business, everything is an investment. You understand? Everything is an investment. You have to understand that and you have to accept that. But my brother, focus on changing yourself. That's the most important thing. And that's what I'm saying. Okay. And I'm saying you can manipulate energy to live your life whichever way you want it to be. That's my lesson. Okay. It's almost towards definitely gonna come to a close. Okay. I'll come to a close. Nobody need an immortal body when you already have an immortal body. You're both physical and non-physical. Your non-physical body is already immortal. Okay? And no one dies. So when you talk, no one dies. No one dies. You only change dimension. So for this person just commenting, this Danny Allah is 99 Israel. Let me say this to you. Have you ever come out of your body consciously and go back in your body consciously? I'm not talking about astral projection. I'm talking about beyond that. Okay? You could come out of this body, you could go back in this body. Okay, then you know that you really eternal for real. Okay? You don't die. You don't need no immortal body and earth, bro. your immortal body is what is keeping this body. Keep quiet, no man. You don't need what you have, or you gonna need something you have. I'm not gonna entertain you no more, man. So anyway, I definitely gonna come to a close here. But I want to encourage those who are listening. Those who have been listening, I want to encourage you to continue to manipulate energy. Okay, and free your mind from all form of secular Christianity and everything that point you to look outwardly. Okay. So, my brother, my sisters, I really want to thank you very much. Peace. Love you all.